This is David with High Performance Stoicism. One of my people recently asked me, David, what is the Stoic view on achieving contentment? I want to talk to you about Stoic contentment. Epictetus talks about something that is like contentment, namely tranquility. When we think about tranquility, we think of it as a wonderful state, a peaceful state, and we usually think of it in terms of something that is going to consistently last over time. And that would be a great achievement. However, we must note that the Stoics, despite what some people say, don't have tranquility as the highest goal in life. In fact, it's virtue and virtue alone. One reason for that is if you are virtuous, that means you will be happy. And with happiness come things like joy, which is much better than tranquility. But okay, let's still talk about tranquility. Can we have it in our life here on earth? Think about it. One thing that the Stoics often stress is that most things, almost everything, is out of our control. Only what our reason does is within our control. And that means that no matter how hard you work, no matter how you reshape your mind, no matter how excellent your perspective is on life, things are going to come at you that are going to challenge you. That comes to end at only one point, and that's called death. So there will always be things to challenge you, and that's one of the elements of realism and Stoicism that it's important to consider. But let's talk about a little more about what we really want when we want contentment. One thing that we think about when we think about, I want to be content, is one day, if I do all these things, then it would be great to be content. Now, just that kind of thinking alone is already going to take you away from Stoic contentment in one respect, because what you're thinking about is way in the future, if I do enough things, I will have this result of contentment. But there's a kind of contentment the Stoics say is closer to you than you might imagine. But you do have to think about life, yourself, your mind, being human much differently if you want to have this Stoic contentment that is available to us, despite the challenges that keep coming and surprise many people until the day we die. So here's one thing that is going to help you to be as content as you can in life, and that is when you start to accept how things really are, when you start to see life as it really is, that is going to make it much easier to find contentment in your life. And as opposed to thinking about maybe I will have contentment or tranquility at some point far down the road, you should think more about what you do day by day. And here's one thing that's going to help you besides acceptance of life as it really is for having Stoic contentment, and it is completion. Here's what Marcus Aurelius says. He says, for the rational soul, fully and completing every one of its projects is what you do. And so that means whatever tasks you give yourself during the day, make sure they're aligned with your rational nature. And as far as you can, complete those projects. And with that, you can say, I am content. And this is an important point in our modern world where people are always asking to do, wanting more, and trying to do more. If you can find those projects that are consistent with your rational nature, consistent with virtue, and complete most of them or all of them, that's going to give you some level of contentment. And here's another kind of switch in thinking that's going to help you to get whatever Stoic contentment you can in life, and it's this. We are about quantity. We want to have maximal pleasure. We want the maximal things out of life. That's quite common, but the Stoics look at things much differently because as long as you are consistent with your rational nature and do the tasks you've set out to do, that's a basis for contentment. The Stoics are one big vote for quality over quantity. If you act excellently day after day for the next week, get the hang of it and keep going, you're going to start to find you do have some contentment in the middle of your life, despite the challenges that are going to come at you until the end. And if by chance and by effort you do become truly virtuous, you are going to transform your mind in such a way that you are able to have contentment no matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on. But it's not the kind of contentment that many people want, which seems to be an absence of difficulty, an absence of action. So, as long as we're clear that you are always going to have to be in action, you're going to have to complete your tasks, then that kind of tranquility will be available to you if you follow the Stoic way. That's the end of this video. Please like, subscribe, give your comments. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.